BSW Sahra Wagenknecht Alliance is for economic reason, for social justice, but also for limiting and controlling the migration, because we do believe that the irregular, the unlawful migration in the amount of every year more than 250,000 is not affordable for Germany, and not for the economy and not for the society. And this is the biggest difference to the traditional left parties. So in this regard, we are a little bit conservative, and also in social stuff like society and issues of the society, like the transsexual, LGBTQ. We are against cancel culture. We are against the wokeness of the left in Germany and in general, and we do believe that dialogue and cooperation and a policy of balances in the foreign policy is the best to keep the security and the peace on our soil and on the European continent. And this is a difference to our former left party, where I was a member. For example, they just left the traditional foreign policy positions. They are, for example, not against the weapon deliveries to Ukraine. We as BSW, we are opposing the weapon deliveries to Ukraine, and we do oppose the weapon deliveries to Israel, because we say the principle of the German foreign policy for many years and decades was always not sending weapons to war zones or to crisis zones.
Let me jump in here, because I think the whole issue about sending weapons and also increasing defense spending makes you probably not eligible to form a coalition into the future government. So perhaps you can elaborate a little bit on that. Are you also against increasing defense spending so that Europe can actually be also be independent of the United States?
Well, we do believe that we need, the NATO as an instrument, as a tool of the United States geostrategic and geopolitical foreign policy is overstretching itself, which is neither a values nor a defense alliance, is now becoming apparent. So NATO will stay. So it's absurd to think that Trump is going to pull out US from the NATO. NATO is US, so NATO will stay, but it is pushing itself into the most serious crisis in history. And we believe that we need a European defense alliance as an alternative. And the BSW stands for a policy of balancing interests, détente, like what it was in the past, and disarmament. We do believe that the German economy is undergoing a heavy crisis, and the situation is characterized by economic stagnation, like your expert also mentioned. So among industrialized countries, Germany is at the bottom of the table when it comes to economic growth. Mass layoffs are now also on the cards in many companies, and not only in the car industry. And the reason for that is the sanctions, the self-destructive economic war against Russia. Germany cannot shoulder the impacts of this sanctions or of a rearmament on a massive scale in the context of NATO and of military support for Ukraine, which has cost 37 billion euro alone over the past 2 years for military aid to Ukraine, and the economic sanctions against Russia, with the official goal of the Europeans to ruin Russia, is ruining the German industry. It costs the German economy, the sanctions cost till now 200 billion euro. That means we are doing a self-destructive policy, and that's our
Let me ask you,